And welcome back, my friends, to Ratchet and Clank ASMR. Off we go in our new stealth fighter to take down Chairman Drek together as a team.
Clank? Clank? Come on, wake up!
Captain Quark?
No, goofball. It's me, Ratchet.
What happened?
You got toasted by lightning. This place is having one heck of a storm. You won't be safe out there. I'll be right back.
While Ratchet and Clank are now friendly again, after Ratchet saw what Chairman Drek was doing to the galaxy for his own greedy, nefarious ends. We've now entered planet Autonomous. This means we're going to have to go through this planet with Ratchet solo.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
We don't want our friend Clank getting struck down by lightning. Oh, but this new weapon, we'd love to unleash it upon our enemies. The Tesla Claw. Discounted from 40,000 bolts to 30,000. It's tempting, but we don't have enough bolts yet. And also, the Tesla Claw is one of the most powerful weapons in Ratchet & Clank ASMR. So, going through planet Autonomous, this is going to be a bit trickier, a little bit frustrating actually. You get so used to having Clank around for mobility with his helipack and thruster pack that you realize how useful it is once it's taken away. Let's take this path. Shoot down these droids. Since we don't have Clank here, we might not be able to maneuver around as well as we could, or as much as we wish. So we have shield drones to protect ourselves. It won't protect us from all damage, but it lessens the chance. Devastator and Blaster take out these shock troopers. Two Devastator ammo back. Nice. So jumping around is much different without our helipack. This fighter will go down in a few Devastator rounds. Much quicker than I expected, actually. That's the power of the Devastator. Doesn't hold too much ammunition, but it is very powerful. I think that's why the game pretty much forces you to get either the Visibomb gun or the Devastator before going on the Gemlik base, because they know you're going to need something much more powerful to take down boss enemies. And powerful vehicles such as those dropships and bombers. Whoops. Luckily, in the previous episode, we went to planet Auxin and got a nanotech upgrade, so we can take one extra hit before Ratchet falls in battle. Just like the previous episodes of Ratchet & Clank ASMR, we go through a similar format. We go to a new planet, we explore and find as much goodies as we can find. From gadgets to weapons to items and infobots that give us coordinates to new planets for us to do the same thing again. Now that Captain Quark has gone down, we just need to deal with Chairman Drek himself. Perhaps we can get a lead. Just look at what Drek's doing to the galaxy. What's happening on this planet is happening everywhere. We have to stop them. Good amount of bolts. Will definitely come in useful. I have a plan in mind for what I'm going to spend the bolts on, but that'll come later. Grind boots section. Let's jump and grind away. Oop. Close call. That's a good thing about the blaster. And the swing shot provides us an opening to find a gold bolt. We'll make use of these later. A little hidden away area, but it's pretty obvious if you walk by it. There you know, a gold bolt in this area, and more importantly, a sand mouse house. We might not have Clank with us in this area, but having the sand mice to assist will definitely come in handy. After all you need to do is equip the Sonic Summoner, and a sand mouse will greet you and take down your enemies for a limited time. And they have serious firepower despite their appearance. Very accurate as well. Thank you. Once again, the game rewards you for going back to previous planets. You need to obtain the Platinum Zoomerator to advance the story, but if you go back to Planet Iridia, you get the Sonic Summoner, which we are using here. It saves us from using a lot of our own ammunition and provides extra fire support. In a stage like this, that's very much appreciated. So we have our shield drones, and the sand mice now and then. So we're never truly alone, are we? Grind boot section. Evade the Tesla guns here. Keep jumping. Duck out of the way. It's gonna be a close one. Oh, we made it. Grind section cleared. What lies ahead?
Hey, welcome to my shop. What can I get you? I'm looking for Drek. Sure, yeah, I got lots of stuff on sale. After the bombing, no one is around to buy anything. Are you okay? Low prices? Oh, you bet. I can make you a deal on a busted turburator, a mangled carbonizer, or I got this info bot. Guess that bombing was pretty loud, huh? Oh, you're one shrewd negotiator. I'll tell you what. I can let this infobot go for half price.
Perfect negotiation tactics. This guy isn't all there. The 2,000 bolts for a new planet is a necessary step.
That's about it for me. Thanks. What you're complaining? I gave you a great deal. Jeez.
Afraid to go out at night? Afraid to go out during the day? Just plain afraid? Then you need this! The Ultra Mech Unlimited. This mech is the ultimate in personal defense system. Blood Industries is now taking pre-orders. Get yours before it's too late.
Now that's what I call serious firepower. Clank's gonna be jealous if he sees this.
That looks like a new gadget we could definitely use. So you have the coordinates for a new planet. Something tells me this planet is going to be very familiar to Clank. Thanks to the open-endedness of Ratchet & Clank ASMR, we can just go straight to the next planet, but the game gives you plenty of opportunity to explore and find new things. So we'll take this taxi. The format of the stages is very simple. You just look at an area you haven't gone before, and surely enough, when you get to the end, you'll find something of value. So we'll take this path using the Magna boots. And wear a pilot's helmet, just in case. You know, safety first. What if we fall on our heads? Uh-oh. I remember this when I was younger. This section's a little bit frustrating. Give me a moment just to fiddle about with the controls. I'll tweak that into the video later. Alright. Need to make sure the camera's on point here. When you go in here, there's slippery ice. And the wind blows you across. Without Clank here, it's very easy to fall to your demise. And it's a Magnaboot section as well. Still, we need to find some kind of reward at the end. So onwards we'll go in this adventure. It's really cool getting to see the city from all these different perspectives, upside down, diagonal, and so forth. See what I mean? The wind can blow you just that little bit farther to your doom. I'm gonna get blown away here, but the Magnaboots come to the rescue. This would be so much easier with the helipack, but this is the hand we're dealt. Very close call. Jump. I remember this being frustrating when I was younger, but I'll go through it again for every single one of you, my friends, who are enjoying this Ratchet & Clank ASMR adventure. Just like Ratchet, stick to it. Careful maneuvering. You need to watch your camera angle as well. If you walk that little bit too far off the Magnaboot section, you'll fall straight off. We can take a hit, but we can't fall off the section. Keep moving. Hello. I see something shiny on the right. A gold bolt. It's a dangerous area to go exploring in, but we need that gold bolt. So, off we go to get it. The developers definitely knew this was going to be a frustrating section, so they put a dropship, some enemies, but the Glove of Doom saves me from having to do any kind of fancy maneuvering. Send our little Gadgetbot buddies out. Trying to metal detect on ice? Yeah, a sadist made this. But we need some loose change if we want to eventually afford the Tesla coil. A new weapon we can get in this area. It's fantastic. One of my favorite weapons in this game. However, it's going to take us a while to get to that point. It would take us even longer if we didn't obtain the Persuader from Planet Pokitaru in the previous episode of Ratchet & Clank ASMR. Now, let's go and get more loose change, more bolts. Come on. Alright. It's dangerous if we go too quick here, so take our time, take our time. Gently. Jump down and obtain Spinaroonie. The gold bolt is ours. Excellent. Some Devastator ammo as well. It's a shame that other bit of Devastator ammo fell off the ledge, but at least it wasn't ours. So shimmy, 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 yeah, to the right. Now, we need to watch out. The wind is blowing forwards. But before we go up, look what's hidden away here. If you just keep shimmying to the right, there is another gold bolt right up here for the taking. It's gone right in my basket. But anyways, let's... Can we get up here? Yeah, we can. Have to be very careful. The wind's gonna start blowing us forward. Oh, wow. That was messy. But we made it, and... Hey, that guy looks familiar.
Captain Quark!
Where?
Come on, Quark, I know it's you.
The name's Steve. Pleased to meet you.
Look, Steve, I need to know where Drek is before it's too late.
Did you say too late?
sir. It is never too late to acquire the latest in the long line of quality products from Gadgetron. I have for you, today only, the Gadgetron PDA.
Public display of affection?
No, personal delivery assistant. This device allows you to purchase ammunition wherever and whenever you want it.
Yeah? How do I know it works?
You can always trust Gadgetron quality, or my name's not Steve.
Well, seems legit enough to me. Buy the Gadgetron PDA for 1,000 bolts. That's very cheap. Sure, we can trust Steve. Let's buy it.
Thank you, and have a quark-tastic day.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Ah, that Steve seems like a pretty trustworthy guy. Well, we did get a reward at the end of this frustrating section. From a completely legitimate Gadgetron store. There's an item over there. We need to go and get it. So we're not done yet on planet Autonomous. But let's show off our new gadget we got for 1,000 bolts. A very useful one at that. The Gadgetron PDA. Extremely useful. When you use this gadget,
Hi there, Fuzzball.
you can buy ammunition and weapons.
That's a real beauty.
In fact, no, you can't buy weapons, but you can buy ammunition exclusively. At a markup price, you can basically get the shop from anywhere you want. So long as you have the gadget, you get a Gadgetron shop wherever you want. So it's good if you don't want to backtrack through a level for more ammunition. That's a very nice thing to have. So we got to thank our friend Steve for that. Seems like a quark-tastic guy. But as we saw next to Steve's perfectly legitimate Gadgetron stand, we saw there was another gadget or item in the distance. So let's go and try and get it. Fidget around a bit with the settings. Alright, let's keep going. Yeah, this loadout will do. Take a taxi to the upper city. It's a planet with a lot to explore in it. Once again, it'd be so cool if we had Clank in this area, but he's our friend. We don't want harm to befall him. Let's just rush ahead here. Avoid these dropships. Oh, they're following us. For smaller enemies, the suck cannon will suffice. Nothing sucks about this. It's great because even though the weapon is useful, is a makeshift blaster, it's its ability to instantly destroy and use smaller enemies as ammunition that makes it invaluable. So if you're getting swarmed by lots of smaller enemies, you can just suck them up. It saves you ammunition. It's a very useful tool for speedrunners who play this game. Why fight the enemy when you can just suck them into the cannon and then be on your merry way? More patrol droids. What was that noise? Alright. It wasn't quite Metal Gear Solid there, but still we infiltrated through a bunch of the droids. That's good enough for me. Now, use the swing shot. You have to be very careful when using this in the moving platforms. Because if you move Ratchet at just the wrong angle, you can very easily fall off. And you don't have Clank's helipack to help you save the day. So your platform in this level has to be pretty tight. See what I mean? We were inches away from just falling off the platform to our demise. But let's use the high ground here to attack from a distance. Wait for the swing shot to appear so we can make a very tactical, calculated move. Swing shot. Alright. Let's use this platform to our advantage. Allow us to circle the enemies. The missiles move in the direction that the hovercraft is moving in, so we'll have to use the blaster instead. But staying on this platform allows us to circle round, kind of like being in an attack helicopter. So we can use the environment to our advantage to make things much easier than they need to be. The metal detectors detecting some bolts on the ground as well. Plenty of bolts to be found on this planet. Once again, you don't have to use the metal detector if you don't want to in this game. It's just there if you want a little bit of loose change. Or if you're just feeling very cheap. Here's the item we spotted earlier. Ooh, looks interesting.
Sweet! Congratulations! You just found a Gadgetron morph array. Hold down the circle button and keep the beam focused on an enemy. When the meter is full, the enemy will transform.
We obtained a Gadgetron Morpho Ray. It's morphin' time. Because we cleared this area, this bomber appears, revealing a platform we can take. So we're still not finished. Morpho Ray. Why is the symbol a chicken? Guess we're gonna have to find out. For all of the adult humor slipped into the Ratchet Clank series, it's quite amusing that they still have a childish sense of humor. What can this weapon do that no other weapon can? Well, let's find out. Let's go for a swing shot section. Maybe I can demonstrate. Very dangerous swing shot section. Hopefully you don't get motion sickness watching this. See if we can find something around here. Ah, swing shot target. Wait for it to come back around. It's gonna circle around this building. Oh, there's another one. Very dangerous maneuver. Take our time. Sway to and fro like little insects. Don't jump. We need to make sure we'll actually latch onto that thing. And it is in the middle of moving. We need to time this perfectly. Another one. See where it leads. Ah, that's what it was hiding. Very generous this stage. For being a big area, we now have a third gold bolt. 3 gold bolts in a single stage. And we obtained 2 useful gadgets. The Gadgetron PDA from our friend Steve McQuark. And the Morpho Ray, a new weapon that doesn't take up any ammunition. See if I can find the chance to demonstrate it for you. After all, Very rare in this game when it just blatantly gives you a new weapon. Gadgets, items, yes, but very rare when it just gives you a weapon. So, let me fidget around with my settings for a second. Yeah, let's go demonstrate what the Morpho Ray does. It's morphin' time. Any more enemies left is the question. Don't think there is. But yeah, check this out, it's pretty cool. The Morpho Ray just doesn't consume any ammunition, so it's very useful for speedrunners. Same category as the Suck Cannon. Yep, we've explored planet Altanus quite extensively. Quite a long planet as well. Let's get back to our stealth fighter and go onwards to the next planet. Robot plant, Core 2. Only one destination to go to. So we might as well do it. Let's set off to the next planet in our adventure in Ratchet Clank ASMR. Please enjoy.
Well, I guess Quark didn't eliminate them.
How observant of you.
Thank you, sir.
How if you were only so diligent in doing your own job?
Yes, sir.
Since our new planet is nearly finished, we need a plan to remove the world that is occupying our selected orbit. This time it must be absolutely foolproof. Time is wasting.
Not a nice guy, is he, German Drac? Well, that's why Ratchet and Clank are here to save the galaxy. Let's go to Planet Core 2. A planet Clank may find familiar, and perhaps you, the viewer. Does this area ring a bell? Let me know in the comments if you remember where this was. Luckily, we have the hydro pack we obtained on planet Hoven. This is needed to explore these underwater sections with enough agility to survive, as there will be traps placed that can send Ratchet and Clank to their doom. There's a timer. We need to get through this tunnel section in under a minute. They're not going to make things easy, are they? They never are. Do you swim through these circles? Open the path? We're on a timer here. Before the electricity comes back on. Need to get out of here. 15 seconds. This is going to be a close one. Oh well. Crisis Ace. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Made it. And a reward?
Oh, yeah!
Excellent. We obtained a new item. One that is incredibly useful. We got the Bolt Grabber. The Bolt Grabber is one of Gadgetron's most popular gadgets. Once you own one, it's permanently attached and will attract bolts from a greater distance, saving us those precious seconds of walking a little bit further to obtain bolts. So let's test it out. Yeah. Allows us to pick up money that little bit easier and faster. And later Ratchet & Clank games would give you more gadgets and items to make bolt gathering much easier. Now let's keep going. In Planet Core 2, the robot plant. Metal detector. Let's take out these sentries. Let's use the smaller enemies as ammunition. Excellent.
You'll need the Gadgetron hologuise to explore the factory. Unfortunately, our scanners do not detect a hologuise on this planet.
No, dear. We'll have to come back later for a hologuise. If we can find one somewhere else. Grab some loose change with the metal detector. We're getting near the end stages of the game. We're closing in quicker and quicker towards Chairman Drac. So we're going to need all the bolts that we need to obtain powerful weaponry to take down something fitting of a final boss. That's the thing about Ratchet & Clank ASMR, there are many options to choose from. We could take on a final boss with our current equipment, but it can't hurt to have more powerful options available. Just look how efficient the Devastator is against normal enemies. It's expensive, but efficient. Swing shot. That's a cool little detail while we take down these enemies. Notice how when you pick up ammunition for the drones, it's called the drone glove. Apparently originally it was going to be a literal glove, just like the bomb glove or the glove of doom. But they had to change it last second. So when you select the weapon, the drones just appear automatically. It saves you the bother of having to manually activate the drones, so I guess it worked out. Would have been cool if you got to see what the drone glove looked like though. Still, this is the first entry in a fantastic gaming series, so they still had to figure out their identity and what they wanted to achieve with this series. But for a first game, this is a fantastic addition to the Ratchet & Clank series, and an absolute classic to play through. One that we are drawing closer and closer to the end. Together, my friends. Excuse me. Keep the shields up. No, that didn't work. I thought the mine glove could work. But they have to come towards us for it to work. Sometimes you can throw the mines close enough to the enemy they home in on their own as more of an offensive weapon. It still has its uses though, especially towards melee enemies that try and get in close. And of course we have our trusty blaster. It's good at a little bit of everything. Grab some loose change. At least we're not metal detecting on ice this time. Just mess around. Our shields providing good offense. The later Ratchet & Clank games give you even greater options to use shields, something I hope you'll enjoy in the future. If you made it this far in the playthrough, let me know, my friends. Would you like me to cover this game's sequel, Ratchet & Clank 2? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate your company. And as I ramble away while I'm trying to grab spare bolts. It's behind this area. This area is interesting. This is an Invinso vault. You need a specific item in order to access it. But if you peek just through the camera here, you can see there's a gold bolt behind here. So, just like needing to obtain a hologuise, we need to come back here later to obtain some goodies.
Was it pi over infinity, or...
Hey, you
need help fixing that thing?
Actually, I'm trying to destroy it.
Why?
I was contracted to re-engineer my enlarging machine to create huge, heavily armed mechs.
So that's where those mechs came from.
Precisely. Had I known Drek was behind this, I never would have done it.
Is there anything we can do?
Well, if you'll volunteer to be enlarged, you may be able to stop those mechs long enough for me to sabotage this machine.
And then you will change me back?
I've never tried that, but in theory, yes.
Seems legit. This is a very cool gameplay section. We get to play as Giant Clank. Wait till you see what this is all about. Transform and roll out. We now have Giant Clank. I love how Giant Clank looks very similar to the classic animated movie, The Iron Giant. Still stands the test of time to this day, The Iron Giant, a fantastic movie. Superman. Good memories. And as I'm reminiscing about the movie The Iron Giant, look at Clank here. Big, beefy, beefcake of a robot. We can punch, launch missiles from our arms, and use a super attack that obliterates everything in sight. Even jumping will eliminate smaller enemies. It is incredibly satisfying to play as Giant Clank in these levels. If only we got to play around with it a little bit more. I think this was developed quite late in the cycle of the game. However, whenever we do get to play as Giant Clank, it's very fun. It's also an excellent way to obtain bolts, as these enemies do drop quite a few of them. Also, just being able to obliterate enemies in almost a single strike. What's not to love? It's good to see the little guy Clank get a moment of action. Instead of using the gadget bots, this time Clank is the brute force. Nice ways to mix up the gameplay.
Well done! Now just step into the machine and we'll see what happens.
Nice to have you back, I guess.
I've recalibrated the controls to allow only your specific circuit pattern.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know how to thank you too. Maybe this'll help.
New! From Gadgetron, the makers of weapons and other fine products, comes the Hollow Guys. With the Hollow Guys, you can fool robots into thinking you're one of them. Match your wits against other robots. Work on robotic assembly lines. Attend robot parties. The Hollow Guys. Available only at Gadgetron headquarters for a limited time. Not to be used for illegal purposes. We're only in sanctioned areas. You will not actually become a robot.
If I can get that thing, I'll be able to get past those robot guards.
Robots are not so easily fooled.
Ah, what's that?
What?
So, exactly what we need. We need a Hollow Guys to get past the sentries. And we can get one on Gadgetron's planet. So, let's grab some loose change. I get the feeling for going to Gadgetron we're going to spend some bolts. So might as well gather some while we're here. Also, we can turn back into Giant Clank anytime we wish. And Drac can't. Excellent. When you turn back into Giant Clank, enemies will respawn, giving us a neat little way to make some bolts when we've broken all the crates in a level. So I'll spend a little bit of time here, just to obtain some extra change. I'll need it for later. I won't spend too long doing this again, but since the time with Giant Clank is so brief, I might as well enjoy it while I can. Until the later Ratchet & Clank games, there doesn't really exist an arena to just go to war in pure combat. So this is the closest thing we have right now. But still, when we play as Giant Clank, we're not actually using any of Ratchet's ammunition. Meaning we have a way to wreak absolute devastation, pandemonium on our enemies, and make a little bit of loose change while we're at it. Satisfying. Almost made more than 1,000 bolts just messing around like this. So if you wished, you could basically repeat this process over and over again to get as many bolts as you please. It's not necessarily a fast method, but it's one of the fastest methods in this game. Although, when we get into the very later and beyond stages of Ratchet & Clank ASMR, I'm going to show you a little trick to obtain lots of bolts. Transform back. You see, later Ratchet & Clank games obviously are more refined than this one. So, they understood after making this game that, oh wait a minute, there's not a lot of ways to obtain bolts after the end game. So they implement features in the future installments to make things much easier and give you more things to spend cash on and lots of ways to obtain it. The metal detector is a fun little gimmick. Unfortunately, it just doesn't give you a lot of bolts. If I had to tweak this game, I would maybe change it so the metal detector gives you much more bolts than they give you in the game. But hey, be very forgiving. After all, this is their first entry in this series. Alright, let's get back to our stealth fighter. It's time to head to Gadgetron and obtain our Hollow Guys. Being the headquarters of where we've been buying a lot of their products, we're sure to find something interesting. Gadgetron site Kalibo free. Little breather for a moment before we set off. Hope you've been enjoying the playthrough so far, my friends. Alright. Let's set off to Gadgetron site Kalibo free in Ratchet & Clank ASMR. Please enjoy, my friends. Find new equipment, and there's 2 gold bolts in this level, so you might get lucky.
This is starting to become annoying. I'm not sure why I bothered with you incompetent idiots. All right, I'll try this one more time. You are my most elite troops. I'm sending you down to the planet's surface to destroy those troublemakers. Now go! Oh, and if you have to destroy Gadgetron to get rid of them, so be it.
Kalibo free. Alright, headquarters of Gadgetron. Definitely gonna find some cool gear here. Hopefully a Hollow Guy so we can infiltrate the plant on Core 2. Elite shock troopers. We need to take them out from afar. We have just the weapon for such a thing. Let's gather some bolts. It's time to spend some. I have a strategy here. Elite shock troopers in the
I got
distance.
some great bargains for you today.
Using the power of the Persuader we obtained on Pokitaru, we could obtain the Tesla Claw right now. But I want to give all the gadgets a little bit of love. So instead of going straight to a completely overpowered weapon in the Tesla Claw, we're going to obtain this, the Visibomb gun. Very useful weapon indeed, and exactly what we need in this current situation.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Stock up on ammunition while we're here. Saves us using the PDA with its inflated prices. That's why it was worth playing as Giant Clank for a little bit. Gain more resources to spend. And thanks to the Persuader, it's even less bolts we had to spend. 5,000 we saved. I mean, we saved 10,000 on the Tesla Claw alone. Wahoo! We've obtained the Visibomb gun. This is the game's best effort to implement sniping elements into a game. You see, the Visibomb gun is a missile launcher similar to the Devastator, with a different effect. It is a guided missile that we control, similar to the Nikita missile launcher used in Metal Gear Solid. I'll demonstrate it in a moment, just fixing the weapon wheel. Now, we know there are enemies in the distance, so instead of bringing ourselves to them, see what happens. We'll use the Visibomb gun to attack from a distance. We can guide it exactly where we want. And it's very powerful. You can't really use it in close quarters because you need to guide the missile and you're left exposed. But we were able to use it to take down 2 of those shock troopers. These are Drek's most elite troops, so we need to use as much strategy as we can. Use the Walloper for melee combat. See, these elite shock troopers can actually shoot you from quite far away. This is where the Visibomb gun shows its strength. We can get into cover and snipe them from afar. Whoa, missed. Let's try that again. Okay. You just turned into a ghost at the last second. Not to worry, we'll get him, we'll get him. Hit a different enemy instead. Make use of this ammunition. It's a little bit on the expensive side. See what I mean? The shock troopers are still trying to shoot us from that kind of distance. So we sit in safety and attack from afar. Until enough of them are whittled down that we can bring ourselves into the open and take them out. So it's down to your own personal preference what you prefer. Do you prefer the Devastator, where you can go all out with an assault? It's quicker. The Visibomb gun is slower, but it is also very powerful. Down there, a hoverboard track. Maybe we'll find out a way to access it later. Also, since we began this planet with a peek into Chairman Drek and what he's been up to, no good, of course, nefarious, if you will. I find it a funny little detail. Every time that Chairman Drek appears, he's promoting himself off screen. So he's just Chairman Drek. Then he's Executive Chairman Drek. Then he's Supreme Executive Chairman Drek. Then he's Ultimate Supreme Chairman Drek. In the words of a certain doctor, he must have woke up one day and decided, I must give myself a promotion! I mean, is it really an achievement if you give it to yourself? Gadgetron test units. they're all using the bomb glove on us. So we're in the headquarters of the guys who make the equipment that we're using. So we're going to see a lot of familiar gadgets in this area, which I think is a nice touch. Instead of making generic shock troopers for us to fight, we're fighting our own gadgets. So the bomb glove, we took them down quite well with the Walloper. Really good melee weapon. It's simple, but it does what it does. See, these shock troopers are ferocious, because they try and shoot you multiple times. Which is why sometimes I try and use the Visbomb gun, but this is where its weakness comes into play. It's very difficult to get a shot in from up close. It is not impossible, but it is very tricky. Because the Visbomb gun's missile is very fast. Can we get him? Come on. Nice. Very difficult to do, but it is doable. It's down to your own preference if you want to do that or not. A bonus detail about the Walloper, it can break up these metal crates that the bomb glove can't quite destroy. This is why Ratchet & Clank's game design works out very well. All the gadgets have their own purposes and niches that they can fill. I don't think any gadget in Ratchet & Clank 1 is useless. They all have their own uses. Another test area with more test robots. Let's have a look. Time to punch out. They're all using the Walloper as well. Punch him out. And our test area cleared. Nice. Lots of these shock troopers around here, but Ratchet & Clank can handle it. We'll assist them together, my friends. Plenty of bolts to find and hopefully some gadgets along the way. Restock some ammunition.
Bargains for you today. That's a real beauty.
Let's use the Morpho Ray to save on some ammunition. After all, it's amusing to turn enemies into chickens. Yeah, that's what the Morpho Ray does. In case people were wondering a while ago, what does the Morpho Ray actually do? It turns enemies into chickens. So for all the adult, dirty jokes slipped into Ratchet & Clank, it's good to know those occasional moments of childish humor. I'll just turn my enemy into a chicken. And it adds a little bit of liveliness to the area. keep rearranging my inventory just to make things a little bit more accessible. I try and balance out my inventory wheel by having my primary weapon at the top, the thing I'm using the most, utility in the top left and right. I usually put a gadget at the bottom that saves me having to go in the menu every time, and then just whatever I feel useful in the bottom left and right. Everyone has their own preferences. Customization is cool. Now, Pyrocida test dummies. These guys are going to be quite dangerous to deal with. They cover a wide area. Let's turn them into chickens. Why not? Let's amuse ourselves. Playing a little bit dangerously. Yeah, I should take this a little bit more seriously now. Oh, especially with that many shock troopers ahead of us. Oh dear. This is another reason why I chose to purchase the Visibomb gun instead of the Tesla coil for now. Tesla claw, excuse me. Copyright infringement there. The Visibomb gun allows us to attack from far, even inside enclosed rooms like this. So when you get in a dire situation like this, we can be a crisis ace. Even when we're low in health, we can drastically reduce the chances of disaster striking by attacking from a distance, behind cover. And the Visibomb gun, to make up for its slow attack speed, is very powerful, on par with the Devastator. The Devastator is far more efficient in an all-out assault, but when you need a more tactical, careful, planned approach, you can definitely get away with that using the Visibomb gun. Enemies can't shoot through these crates, but we can fire above. To infinity and beyond. Let's not destroy those crates just yet. They provide valuable cover. Oh, nanotech. Can't believe I missed that. That's what I needed. More nanotech. Excellent. Exactly what we needed. Now all the test units are out at once. Every type. Bomb Glove, Pyrocida, all of them. So let's just keep a distance and watch war ensue. Let's throw some gadget bots out using the Glove of Doom. Kind of improvising a gladiator arena, aren't we? Just sit and watch the chaos. Just picture Ratchet delivering a big thumbs down at the moment. Also in the sequels, in the Ratchet Clank series, they managed to expand this concept, Glove of Doom, 4 little allies helping you out in battle. They give you more gadgets in the future games, which allow you to have allied support. Very nice touch. And as we progress through Callibo Free, we're making a lot of the bolts we spent back. So that was worth our time. See if we can find a hollow guys at the end of here.
Excuse me, sir. I was wondering if you were concerned about the, invasion?
Son, hard offenses are the best money can buy. Don't give it another thought. You ever been on a hoverboard?
Yeah, once or twice.
I am in search of a hip young star to represent my newest line of boards. Someone the kids can look up to.
Then I am your man.
If you can beat my test bots in a race, that job is yours.
Alright. Need to get into another hoverboard race. All to get a Gadgetron sponsorship. Totally for the good of the galaxy. Let's do this. Hoverboard race. This time, we can use our Platinum Zoomerator, which we obtained as a prize on Planet Rilgar, Blackwater City. With this, if you didn't catch the previous episodes of Ratchet Clank ASMR, the Platinum Zoomerator allows you to perform tricks. Now, you can do them unsuccessfully if you play riskily like I did there. However, if you do successful tricks, you gain small turbo boosts, which you will need to complete these later races. The more tricks you can perform, the better. Try and get as many spins with the shoulder buttons as you can. Mixing up the gameplay, we went from playing as pretty much the Iron Giant to now Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. So you have these little platforms here that will give you a turbo boost by default, but you can also perform tricks to create it yourself. Also, we can use these missiles to destroy the enemies. Because after all, if you can't perform the tricks and outrace your opponent, why not just destroy them? I'm definitely going through my villain arc at the moment, aren't I? Go through these gates, it opens up a little shortcut. This will give us the edge we need. I think we can move into first place if we keep up this destructive pace we have going right now. Even with a mess up like that, I think we can still manage this. If I pull this off, we can come back and do more hoverboard racing later. We'll need it to obtain some things I need to obtain. Fighting dirty, but it works.
That was terrific! Now I just needed to say a few words about our hot new boards.
Huh? Now?
Of course. Just look into that camera right over there and say what comes naturally. Rolling!
Hi. This is Ratchet for, Gadgetron hoverboards. And if you,
Yo, dudes, for the freshest boards in the galaxy, check out the new XZ88 from Gadgetron. It's so hot, it's cool.
I think I got the wrong guy. That was something.
Hey, I was thinking, do I get a discount on gadgets now?
You have to be with the company for 2 years before the employee discount kicks in. I can, however, let you have this.
The Gadgetron Hologuise is the perfect infiltration device for all our non-robot customers. Simply equip the device and press the circle button. You will instantly be disguised as a sentry bot, preventing detection by all sentry bot security systems. Press the circle button again to wave at fellow sentry bots, who will then deactivate force fields for you. Caution, use of any weapon while disguised will deactivate the hologuise.
Alright. One messy hoverboard race later, and we've obtained the hologuise. And now, we're a robot. Hello. Totally not Ratchet and Clank in disguise. Seems legit enough to me. I like that little interaction. Even though Ratchet's the hip one, he's not very good at improv. He hasn't done theater, I guess. But who knew Clank could actually be an influencer?
I got some great bargains for
He was better at improvising than Ratchet was. Now, we're not done exploring Kalibo Free just yet. We have one section that I showed you earlier, but didn't go down, because I wanted to clear the combat section first. This next section will be a grind boot section, but I need to go through it twice, not once, because I want to show you there is a path to a gold bolt down this path, as well as perhaps someone we'd be interested in meeting. You'll find out when we go through the grind boot section. Maybe not as a robot, though. Let's do this. First of all, I'm going to show you how to obtain the gold bolt. Of course, they never make it easy. Wouldn't want things to be too easy now, would we? Well-timed jumps and blaster fire should keep us safe. Of course, health and safety isn't really a priority at Gadgetron, or this galaxy for that matter. A PR nightmare. Flip this switch here. If we take this path through the grind rail, keep following it. Hit the switch. Don't hit into the bomb. Don't worry. This is why we got that nanotech on planet Auxin to tank more hits. Hit enough switches, and it will open a path. We didn't hit all the switches, though. We need to do it one more time. There's one we just barely missed. This one. Got it. Now keep following the path. I did it again. It's an awkward angle to jump and aim from. Now that all three switches have been tripped, we jump over this way. One heroic jump later, around this corner. Jumping between dangerous traffic. And if we continue to follow this section here on the right, keep jumping, avoiding obstacles. And up here, continue to follow. Very dangerous path, but at the very end here, gotcha. Obtain the gold bolt. Now with our shadow magic, we'll rewind time. Now we have obtained this gold bolt, we can now take the conventional, intentional path to meet someone very familiar, even if we haven't met them in person yet. You'll find out who they are when we get to the end of this grind boot section. I'm going to use the Pyrocitor instead of the blaster. It's a little bit more accurate in taking care of these mines that these robots drop. Sometimes the turn to get away from the bombs is a little bit awkward. Sometimes the blaster just can't quite hit them. Those are the easier jumps there. Every now and then you'll get multiple bombs in front of you. It's easy to just cook them. Let's see if we can do this better than last time. Now we can actually use the pyrocitor to trigger the switches. I should have done that from the start. Well, we're always learning, aren't we? Always evolving. Shows you how cool it is that you can just deploy the weapons almost instantaneously. I mean, grinding with a flamethrower, how cool is that? Continuing on, avoiding the traffic. I mean, I guess you can say we've been training for this. Wow, that joke crashed and burned, didn't it? Whoa, close call. I almost got railed there.
Hey, we finally get to meet the help desk girl. I hope she's cute.
What should that matter?
Oh, man.
Come here often?
Actually, I work here, so I come here all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I've been following your progress. Here, shh, take this. It's a map-o-matic. It will be very helpful.
I'll see you later.
Bye, sweetie.
I think she likes me.
The Gadgetron map-o-matic can be used to find secret areas. Just go to your map screen, and all secret areas will be highlighted on the map.
Well, it's nice to know that Clank likes her. Clank has a waifu. Who knew? And the entire time she's been speaking to us. The Gadgetron help desk girl has been the tutorial of this game, and we actually get to meet her. I think it's a really nice touch. Plus, she's cute. You can see why Clank likes her. She's obviously not supposed to be giving us the map-o-matic for free, but I think she likes us, especially Clank. Ratchet might not like it if I get caught saying that, but still. What's not to like about Clank? He's a lovable little guy. So we obtained the Gadgetron map-o-matic for free from our friendly waifu, Gadgetron help desk girl. Now, what this map-o-matic does is when you go into the map screen, it will highlight areas in green that we have not visited yet. These areas in green are secret areas that are off the conventional path. There's one actually very close to us. See how well hidden this is? If you see anything unusual, there's something over there. And we now know because of the map-o-matic. See if we can find a way in. Use the Visibomb gun to take a nosy around here. It's a big map, isn't it? Now, if you look down here, a little area you can jump down to. Visit the Gadgetron employee break room. Nothing unusual to find here. The employees are all chickens. Of course, Gadgetron health and safety. Somebody must have been in here with a morpho ray. But look, this little area is covered in green. It's a hidden area, which we have now discovered. The map-o-matic will be extremely useful, because eventually we're going to go back to previous planets and find goodies that we may have missed, including gold bolts, which will become very useful as well. Now we've found all gold bolts in this area. So thanks, help desk girl. You're our waifu for this playthrough. Take one more look at her. Pretty, isn't she? Alright, we've explored everything we need in this area. Also, small detail, we didn't get much of a chance to talk about it. We obtained a skill point for going through the grind boost section without taking any damage. So that's another reason I wanted to do it twice. The first time to obtain the gold bolt, and the second time to do it perfectly. In a later video, once we complete the game, I will show you how to obtain all skill points and gold bolts to get a complete 100% of this game. Not necessarily 100%, but everything substantial. And we obtained the Hollow Guys to turn into a robot. That'll allow us to infiltrate Core 2. Now let's return to Planet Core 2. So we haven't gone in this larger facility just yet. Luckily, the Hollow Guys will manage to pull that off. Just grabbing some more bolts. Don't mind if I do. Now with the hollow guys. Robots are not so easily fooled. Let's find out.
Time to use the hologuise. While wearing the hologuise, press the circle button to wave to the sentry bot, and he will deactivate the force fields.
Hello, fellow robot. It is me, a totally legitimate robot friend. Our disguise is perfect. We need to make sure these sentries do not trigger the alarm. The defense system is quite lethal. We need to use a mix of the hollow guys and our regular weaponry. I like the way we walk around waddling. Need to take out these robots before they can trip the alarm in the middle. Gotta be quick and efficient. Pick our moment perfectly. Booyah! This is gonna be a satisfying blow. Quite an infiltration we've got going on here.
You will have to destroy those sentry bots. Make sure they do not press that alarm button.
Thanks, Help Desk Girl. Always helping us out. Best waifu. Just in the nick of time. In as we go to the factory. We need to gauge our jump very carefully here. And that's why you don't want to trip the alarm. The defenses are very efficient. Look at that. We were running away and still get blasted twice. Shows you the importance of stealth. Ah, there's two of them, that's how. Get in close. 2 for 1. progressing quite steadily here. Thanks to the map-o-matic, we can actually see a secret area inside this plant. Let's make sure we don't miss it. Assembling robots in here. Three of them. We're right in front of the defense system as well. We cannot allow them to trip the alarm. Need to guard that alarm at all costs. Don't let anybody cross. While I wait for the opportune moment to strike, I'd like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for making it this far in the video and the Ratchet Clank series. I really hope it's one you're enjoying. A mix of combat, stealth, goofy gadgets, quirky humor, and likable cast of characters. For such an early game in the PlayStation 2 cycle, it's a very fun one. All-time gaming classic. Nothing to see here, just me, friendly robot. Just taking a stroll. Don't let him trip the alarm. Come on. This is why it's useful to use the Walloper. Take out an enemy in one hit. The wrench takes 3, the Wallop takes him out in 1. Definitely a benefit to buying that when you obtain it on Planet Gaspar. Whoops. We need to use the thruster pack to activate this special lock. The good thing is the game allows you the choice to maneuver with the thruster pack or the helipack. You just need the thruster pack to open these locks, then you can change back. While the thruster pack is cool, I just prefer the minimal design of the helipack. Only appears when it's needed. And just how we had to disappear as needed, because the alarm got switched. Should be 1 or 2 more sentries and we're finished with this plant section, hopefully. Hello to you, my friend. Friendly robot here. Not Ratchet or not of the Clank. No, friendly robot. Huh? I lie. That's what I wanted you to think. Don't know where that voice came from. Alright, let's go through here.
That should do it.
Mom?
Oh, brother.
I tried, Mom.
A sister.
My fellow Blah, our synthetic world is now fully functional and ready for habitation. However, there is one small obstacle in our way. This pathetic lump of a planet. Due to some blunder of fate, it happens to occupy the galaxy's most perfect orbit. But no more. Behold, the Deplanetizer, the most powerful laser ever created. Soon, we'll move the Deplanetizer into place just above the planet's surface. I will, of course, be on hand to press the button that will blow this mudball to smithereens. No one will even miss it. See you then.
Ratchet, are you all right?
He is going to pay.
Excuse me?
It shouldn't have taken me this long to see it. Drek is going to find out what happens when you mess with my home. What are you smiling at?
This is the Ratchet I always knew was there.
Okay, if we're gonna do this, we need to get on the Drek's ship. And then we can find out where he set up that laser.
I will try to make you proud, Mom.
Ah. Chairman Drek's plan is truly nefarious. Even my little white lion was outraged by that plan to destroy Ratchet's home planet. Now he's mad. Ratchet and Clank are together, in unity, to take down Chairman Drek. In this hidden area we discovered with the map-o-matic, up here, hidden away, another gold bolt. We also get a sweet, heartwarming moment with Clank's mom. I'll try to make you proud, Mom. You already have. Mixed between the comedy, there's moments of actual tension and drama. Drek is going to destroy Ratchet's home planet. And yet you get a tender, sweet, heartfelt moment between Clank and his mom. So it's time next to go to Drek's fleet and find out where he set up the laser he plans to use to destroy Ratchet's planet. In preparation to go towards Drek's fleet, I'm going to obtain a few more bolts to buy some more goodies. I know, that's a great idea, isn't it? Little white lion is rooting us on. Yeah, come on, cheer us on some more. Come on. That's it, good boy. We're gonna take down Chairman Drek, aren't we? While I obtain some bolts, speak into the camera, buddy. Hiya. Hello. Oh, you shy all of a sudden? Hiya. Rather than make this a gameplay section where I just do the same thing over and over again, I guess I've got a guest. Hello. Say something to the camera. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. One of my little white lions. Little angel. No, he's happy. You can't see this as I'm recording this, but he's very happy. We're gonna get some bolts, aren't we, little guy? Yeah, we are. Okay. Not quite the aesthetic you were thinking about finding when you started up Ratchet & Clank ASMR. The sound of a beautiful little white cat, while Giant Clank smashes around Chairman Drek's robots. But yeah, we're going to go around as Giant Clank for a little tiny bit just to obtain some more bolts. We get very close to the end of the game. We're going to need all the firepower we can manage. Step into the robot arena one more time, get some more bolts. And hopefully, Clank is making his mom proud. Alright, enemies eradicated. Maybe that's going to be enough bolts? We'll see. This video contains everything you could want in an ASMR video. A lunatic from Pandemonium rambling away. A heartfelt moment between a tiny robot and his computer mother. A waifu help desk girl. A furry protagonist with firepower. And of course a giant robot walking around smashing things. All making for an intense, but totally relaxing ASMR experience. Wouldn't you agree? Oh yeah, and a white tiger in the background cheering us on. These are the experiences and pleasures, you find when you join Alakazam ASMR in his journey across Ratchet Clank ASMR. Hope you're enjoying, my friends. Thank you so much for your time as we continue onwards towards Drek's fleet to take down the nefarious Supreme Executive Chairman Drek. Totally didn't promote himself. Setting off to save the galaxy, Ratchet and Clank are gonna take on Chairman Drek's fleet, orbiting over planet Velden, Ratchet's home. This is gonna take us a while. There are several battleships we have to navigate through. We need to use all of our gadgets and all of our weapons to achieve victory. We can do this together, though. Let me take a quick moment to gather some bolts. We'll need them for later on. Bear with me for a moment. Alright. Let's take this teleporter to the missile cruiser. More sentry guards. So we're gonna need to hologuise again. One enemy goes down, into the next room. Nothing suspicious here. Open the door, comrade. 'Tis me, comrade. That's what I wanted you to think. Even robot attack dogs can see through this flimsy disguise. Gonna need a weapon to take them all out, aren't we? I got an idea. The Taunter. Here, boy. The Taunter is very limited in its uses, but it really comes in clutch when you need it. Continue to infiltrate through this area. We need to use our stealth and continue to advance forwards without letting an alarm slip. Taunt are coming in very useful here. Going through this doorway. Being calculated, taking out enemies. All right, continuing on. Sections of the hollow guys are a little bit slower. But we need it to be if we want to be successful. Excuse me. All right. There, boys. Totally normal sight in Drek's fleet. Given Drek's disregard for organic and synthetic life, I don't think it'll bother him too much that these droids are getting blown up. Unless it's Ratchet and Clank doing it, of course. We want to take out all sentries. Everyone that we can. Back into disguise. Wait for there to be some distance between them and the alarm. Wait patiently here. Eins, zwei. Little touches as well, like obtaining the bolt grabber. You can see that little bit of distance that we've covered, grabbing bolts from further away. One more sentry to go down. Let's do this. Plenty of cruisers to go through here. Still got a long way to go. But we're closing in on Chairman Drek, stopping him. There's some hidden rooms on these ships. It's dangerous to use the swing shot and land next to those robot dogs. Need to take them out from afar before we can land. Trying to refrain from using the Visibomb gun in case we need it. Unfortunately, that's the way it's going to have to roll. Long distance. We don't have a sniper rifle in this game, so a guided missile will do the job just as fine. Sentry right next to the alarm. He needs to be taken out immediately. Need to use the Devastator. Take him out first. Back in disguise. Wait for them to close the door. Taunt are coming in very useful here.
Robots are not so easily fooled, Ratchet.
I beg to differ in this instance. Closing in. Waddle into the command center. This should be the last sentry to deal with. Just need to get them to open the door. Booyah! We just earned a skill point. You obtain a skill point on this planet by destroying all of the sentry guards, which we just managed to accomplish right there. Excellent. It takes quite a while to do so, so it's just as well we got the skill point. Saves us coming back later to do the same thing all over again. We'll go in a proper efficient skill point hunt eventually down the line. For now, we need to conclude Ratchet & Clank's main adventure to stop Chairman Drac. Need to go outside of the airlock. Luckily, the Magna Boots will make that easy. Grab some underground bolts. Find them everywhere now, aren't we? The final warship. There's an entire hidden area ahead of here. We need to find a way to access it. Before we access the bridge of this ship, we don't know what we might find in that secret area. Most likely a gold bolt. So we need to stop Chairman Drac. We can see Veldin here in orbit. The perfect orbit, according to Chairman Drac. Time to use this Blogane fighter to disable the turrets and allow Ratchet and Clank to cross safely. Destroying smaller Blogane fighters will allow us to replenish our health and ammunition. So even though we have to take out ones that approach us head-on, if we need hell for ammo, we go and seek out ones that haven't targeted us yet. These space-flying sections, there's very few of them, but they're quite satisfying. Something that would be developed later in the sequel, Ratchet & Clank 2. I think we should manage just fine. Keep destroying the smaller fighters. That's why it's good we got that pilot's helmet on planet Gaspar. Mission completed. Drac's new planet. Frankenstein, together with pieces of many planets, is attacked. over the course of his conquest. Upside down. They're barking, but they can't bite. Evade these lasers. There's the bridge. Before we enter the bridge and hopefully encounter Chairman Drac, let's go back. See if we can go through this area here and find a secret. More sentries. Wait a minute, there's defenses in this area? Oh no. I wasn't expecting that. So we need to go in with the hollow guys and eliminate these enemies immediately. We can't hide behind the doors, there's defenses right here tucked away. Need to take out these enemies rapidly. That eliminates them. Use the taunter. Excellent. Getting quite a lot of bolts along the way. That's good, we're gonna need them. The final confrontation is approaching. And I would like to get at least over 40,000 bolts, ideally. A laser grid. A sentry. Take him out immediately. Nanotech. Lovely. Having that extra hit point thanks to visiting Planet Auxin is really paying off. Gives us that extra layer of defense that we need. Apologies. Make a leap of faith. Come on. Nice. A gold bolt. So there was a secret at the end of here. Whoops. Not the most graceful jump, but we made it. Thanks to the extra hit points. Then we can grab this nice little extra. The gold bolt. Gotcha. Definitely worth going back for. This is what we're fighting for. To save Planet Velden, Ratchet's home. Might be a desolate little desert planet, but it's home. We have to save it. Now we can go through the bridge. Hopefully we can find Chairman Drek here. Infobot.
Tonight on Blind TV, the event you have all been waiting for, the total annihilation of an entire planet! Witness the power, the destruction, and the nothingness that follows. So join Ultimate Supreme Executive Chairman Drek as he pushes the button that ends one world and begins another. Then, stay tuned for the galaxy's funniest superhero bloopers featuring Captain Quark.
Now we know where he is. Let's get him.
Alright, let's do this. Drek's on Velden itself. We're inside the bridge of this ship. This is where Drek has been found in all the cutscenes throughout the game and filming his propaganda, justifying his conquest of the galaxy, at least in his own eyes. Wish I could sit in this chair. Kind of flex on Chairman Drek. Hey, dude, I'm sitting in your chair. What you gonna do about it? Now, we need to get prepared for the final step in this playthrough of Ratchet Clank ASMR. One of several, actually. Velden is where the final encounter with Drek will happen. I know it. We need to make sure we are completely prepared for this circumstance. So we need to obtain enough bolts. Ideally, I want to obtain over 40,000 bolts for my plan. I want to go through this water section and find this secret. There is an item at the end of this section, but I'll cover it in our final video in this series. For now, let's go grab the gold bolt. Need to use the hydro pack to navigate this water tunnel. At the end of this section is a useful item we will cover when we come back. There is a skill point to be attained in this area if you can navigate this aquatic tunnel without taking damage. We are here to obtain a gold bolt which is hidden away. We also must navigate this in a time limit, otherwise the electricity will come back on. Don't worry about damage for now. I've run through here before with taking no damage. We'll cover that in a later video. For now, grab the gold bolt and make preparations for the final attack on Chairman Drek. So normally we'd swing a right. Instead, we activate all of these. Go through this little door here that will open instead. However, we're quite tight for time. That's just so you know to get in here. There is an item you obtain in this area, but we'll cover it in a later video. We're here for the respawning boxes we need. We need that little extra bit of chump change. So this tunnel section, a later video, I'll cover what item we obtained. It's a secret, after all. I wonder, what do you think I'm going to do for the final stretch of this video? What weapon do you think I'm going to try and obtain to take on Drek? You'll find out soon enough, my friends. Almost there, almost at the 40,000 mark. So this area is important to me. It gives us an item we'll need in a future video, and it gives us those few extra bolts we need that are going to make all of the difference in the final battle. Bear with me for a moment. So we're going to go back inside here and obtain the gold bolt. So we had to swing a right, go through 3 locks to get to this location. Now that we have already activated the 3 locks, we take a left instead, and that leads to an area with a hidden gold bolt. We know this because the lovely and cute help desk girl passed on that useful information using the map-o-matic, which she probably wasn't allowed to give us, but she likes us. Probably likes you too. Now that I'm done explaining my plan, it's time to enact it. Go through this tunnel one more time. Okay, one more time. Shows how useful the hydro pack is. Imagine trying to swim through here without it. It's probably possible, but much easier with the hydro pack. This is where the teamwork of Ratchet and Clank comes into play. Even if Clank at most times isn't a direct combatant, it's his utility that makes him so useful to be in the team. Being able to use the helipack, thruster pack, slip into small areas, work in areas where organic life forms can't survive. And also just being a cool character. Clank is very useful. Now we swing a left this time. Now that we've got enough time left on the clock, come up here to this hidden area for gold bolt. And some regular bolts here we're definitely going to make some use of. And that's why you don't want the timer to run out when you're in the water. That would be bad. We've obtained the gold bolt. Now with way more than enough time to make the exit, let's head for it. Alright, so you would expect our next destination to be the final planet, the one we began on, Planet Veldin. However, I'm going to take a slightly unorthodox approach to the final battle. We could obtain a powerful weapon like the Tesla Claw, or the useful distraction weapon that is the Decoy Glove. However, I'm going to demonstrate why I've been going through Ratchet & Clank ASMR with such meticulous detail to grabbing all of the gold bolts and hidden areas. So, we're going to take off in our stealth fighter, and we're going to go back to a previous planet. Let me show you, my friends. Can you guess where we're going? We are actually going to go back to the Gemlik base I just had to do a little bit of bolt grinding off screen there, just to get enough that I needed. So, let's go back to the Gemlik base on planet Autonomous. Every now and then I just need to edit in a bit, where I was grinding. And also getting a feel for the map. So we're going to go back to the Gemlik base over planet Autonomous. We went from Drek's fleet to his Gemlik base. Now, there is a particular reason for this. In one of the previous episodes of Ratchet Clank ASMR, there is a hidden area in here that I showed you. In the Space Fighter hangar, in case you missed it, where we achieved defeating Captain Quark and obtaining our Blogian stealth fighter, which we found here. Up here in this communications tower, if you wall jump from here, you will access a hidden room with secret weapons inside, and it's time to finally use them. There are gold weapons here, which can only be unlocked by paying enough regular bolts and gold bolts. They are expensive, however. So, here's what we're gonna do. We don't have 40,000 bolts. I was just getting some practice for Planet Velden. We are going to obtain the Golden Blaster for 20,000 bolts and 4 gold bolts, which is why we've been grabbing them throughout this entire playthrough. Let's purchase the Gold Blaster. A useful tool to take down Drek. Let's do it. All of the golden weapons are significant improvements to their regular counterparts. As well as increased damage, the Golden Blaster will ricochet off of surfaces it hits. This is the fully upgraded form of the blaster. The blaster is the jack of all trades, can fight at close range and long range, so we'll need it for the final planet. We're also, unorthodox, going to buy the Gold Suck Cannon for 10,000 bolts. And 4 gold bolts. The Gold Suck Cannon can hold more small enemies than its regular counterpart and shoots them back out at increased force. So we have 2 golden weapons. Just getting the preparations made for the final battle. If you have much more bolts, you can obtain the Gold Pyrocida, the Gold Glove of Doom, and many more. This is an early peek at some of the power you will discover in the endgame and beyond. For now, with the bolts we have, we spent 8 gold bolts, which we accomplished by exploring various levels throughout this series. After we defeat Gem and Drek, I'm going to make a final episode of Ratchet Clank ASMR, in which I obtain every single gold weapon, and one weapon that reigns supreme over them all, without even being golden, as well as obtaining all of the skill points. I want to show you everything that Ratchet Clank ASMR has to offer, and if that means going through it all again, just to make sure you get to see every weapon in action, I'll do it. Especially for you, my friend. As long as it brings you relaxation and entertainment. They might not be the most powerful weapons, but they are powerful indeed in their own ways. The gold suck cannon will allow us to instantly obliterate smaller enemies, and the blaster is much more pragmatic. We can use it in close and long-range encounters, and its ricochet ability will be handy. Now, thank you for listening to my rambling and insane schemes aside. It's time to set off in Ratchet & Clank ASMR, where it all began, returning to planet Velden to save Ratchet's planet. Let's go. Save the galaxy. Where it all began, where Ratchet met Clank. We've come a long way, back to where it began. Ratchet's home. Nice touch. The Captain Quark poster is missing. After all, we discovered Quark isn't exactly the hero now, is he? Final prep for this level. Go to this Gadgetron vendor. I'm going to buy one more useful piece of equipment.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
We're going to purchase the decoy glove, a useful distraction
That's a real
gadget. Buy as much ammunition as we can with the spare change we have left over. Now, what does the decoy glove do? Huzzah, let's find out. The decoy glove does what it says on the tin. A glove that throws out a decoy. Useful for distracting enemies and giving you a moment to breathe. It's actually a favorite of speedrunners, who instead of fighting the enemies, will just distract them and run right past them. It can come in handy as well when you find yourself in a tight spot, with no room to dodge, giving the enemies something else to shoot at. So, there's application for all the gadgets in Ratchet & Clank 1. Now, we have all the gadgets we need. All the weapons that we need so far. Not the most perfect versions that we can have, but we'll get there eventually. For now, we need to save the galaxy from Chairman Drek. Thank you for joining me in this journey. As we enter the final planet. Now, using our gold suck cannon, you can notice we can hold many more enemies' ammunition than we could previously. More capacity to take out smaller enemies once. And they are much more powerful when exited out of the suck cannon. Instantly destroy small enemies and inflict major damage on larger ones. The range as well is quite impressive. I think when we were on this planet we only had the bomb glove and the wrench. Now look at the arsenal of weaponry we have at our disposal. Look at that. Entire group of enemies. Just taken in by the suck cannon. Nothing sucks about this weapon. Even elite commandos go down in 2 blasts. Lots of enemies here. See what I mean? Decoy glove coming in very useful here. Using this, we can take out the commandos with just the wrench, because they're so distracted by the decoy. Smaller enemies? No problem. While I was practicing this area, there was a trespasser puzzle here, but I unlocked it quick. Every now and then I'll just trial run a level and get a feel for how the enemy patterns are. So in this instance, you don't need to watch me unlocking the lock. Ain't that cool? Drax's new planet up there. Need to use the hydro displacer. Or at least we would if we didn't practice this area. To give you a more streamlined experience, not stopping and starting as much as the usual planets. Plenty of elite commandos here. Decoy glove time. We just obtained a skill point. I was deliberately trying to take out the enemies with only the wrench. If you take out 5 elite commandos with only the wrench, you obtain a skill point. Now we can use our true weaponry. Visibomb gun will make this much easier. We might not have the most powerful arsenal of weaponry possible, but we definitely have a very balanced and varied assortment of weapons and gadgets. We don't have the most powerful equipment, but we have enough to finish the job, no matter how different it may be. We have a weapon for every situation. All that is left now is pure strength. And as you can see, the decoy glove came in very handy to obtain the skill point by hitting these elite commandos with a wrench, which is awkward because they're on these jetpacks. Luckily, we got this covered. Now use our golden blaster. Now we don't have to worry about using a wrench. Lots of enemies shooting at us. Not anymore. Decoy glove. Showing its usefulness. Giving us that small moment, that small window of opportunity to attack the elite commandos. The Golden Blaster has a great use at close range, but can also be used at long range if you get your aim right. Combining with the Visibomb gun gives us opportunity to strike from afar and up close. Decoy glove time. Leave him wide open for a shot. We could have obtained the decoy glove very early in the playthrough, but I decided to save it. Excuse me. I decided to save it for the more troublesome enemies like these German Drac commandos, which are quite troublesome to deal with. We're going to go back here. You notice this little area. Can't get through here. There's a switch. Another ample use of the taunter will fix this. Over here, boy. Thank you. Now die. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Evil Kazam aside. This small path opens the way to another gold bolt. We're going to try and obtain as many of these as possible on our first playthrough. As you can see, it's paid off. We have 2 golden weapons which are serving us extremely well. The suck cannon and the blaster aren't the most powerful, but their application is useful in this final stage of the game. We're about halfway through right now, very close to the end of the story. Even these elite commandos can get mowed down quite easily by the gold blaster. All about keeping things balanced. It is possible to buy any of the golden weapons whenever you see fit, as soon as you reach the Gemlik base. You do not unlock the entire roster of golden weapons until you beat the game. But don't worry, my friends. I'll cover that when we get to it. After all, don't want a 5 or 6 hour video. Why not finish the game in a half the size video? And then complete all the optional bonus content all in one go. I don't know, that format works for me. What about you? Now, this is an area I haven't practiced in yet, so there is a trespasser gate. Oops. Still one commando left. Having to use all the gadgets we have obtained so far. Bear with me for a moment. Use the trespasser here to unlock the gate. Solve a puzzle, be a moment. Could take a minute, could take 10 minutes, who knows? Need to turn all these lights green. Need to move this out of the way. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. The key is you don't want to block any of the lights. So we've got one blocking the lower left. Oh wait, I think I've got this figured out now. To the left, to the right. And move this part from the bottom. Should be okay. Blocks the path to there. So that's the only one that can access there. So if that's not blocking that, we can flip that around. Turn to the left, turn to the right. Apologies, I'm taking a bit longer than usual, but we'll crack this puzzle. Got it. Took a while, but we got there. Right. Enemies already here to greet us. The wildlife and Drax commandos. Ratchet and Clank going commando. Once again, this would be a much trickier section if we didn't have such a variety of weapons to use. We have shields to protect us, the thruster pack to move around, the Visibomb to attack from afar, Devastator for full force, Blaster for up close and slightly longer range operations. Even the humble Bomb Glove is viable at this point in the game. Even more so if you upgrade it to the golden variant. And even the humble Decoy Glove, which can't damage enemies really, unless you upgrade it, is showing its usefulness here, giving the enemy something to aim at besides us, which gives us the moment to strike. Gotta watch out though. These elite commandos have a very long range on their weapons. Strike from afar with a Visibomb gun. Whoops. Ghosted through that passageway there. 2 for 1. Gotcha. Prepare for trouble and make it double. Okay, James from Team Rocket apparently just walked by my video. He was just waiting for a chance to say that, wasn't he? Oh, don't you know it, dear friend Alakazam? This video wouldn't be complete without someone so fabulous as me. Alright, James. Hopefully you, Jesse, and Meowth are doing alright. Oh, we are, Jesse. Anyways, I'll leave you to your video. Ta-ta now. Oh, what a strange guy. We need all the extra bolts we can get. Right before we try and fight Drek, we want to buy as much ammunition as we can. We don't really have enough for another weapon, but I don't think we'll need it. It's good to have. But I think the blaster, the suck cannon, and all the other weapons we've amassed so far will be more enough to suffice for our final showdown with Drek. I can feel it getting closer and closer to the end. Finality. Wait a minute. The map-o-matic the help desk girl gave us reveals a hidden area. It's right in front of us. We might as well explore it. Another gold bolt. Excellent. A lot of them, that's not good. Yeah, we shouldn't try and take them all on, that's a bad idea. We need a weapon to surpass all others to take on these odds. Let's hop through here. Perhaps we can find something to help us. Wait a minute. Using the hydro displacer, we'll move forwards from here. What's more powerful than the weapons we have currently? What's the most powerful force we've been able to muster so far? Ah, here it is. One of the machines that allows us to transform into Giant Clank. We got a ton of enemies to use them on. Delicious. I love it. Let's go. Let's take Giant Clank and take down Chairman Drac. Alright, final battle. Let's go. Let's do this. Transform and roll out. Excellent to have this kind of firepower in a pinch. Crush them. Let's do this.
Imbeciles. After all the trouble you've gone through, you're about to die right where you started. It's so poetic.
This is it, Clank. Let's get him.
Alright, with the power of Clank in his giant form, let's take down Ultimate Supreme Executive Chairman Drac. With this power, he can't stop us.
You might have been useful to me after all. Too bad you chose the wrong side.
Uh-oh. That's not good. They just gave us a taste of ultimate power there and took it away from us. But I guess it makes sense. Drac was using that technology to make armies of giant robots. It makes sense he would have the means to counter it if something went wrong. He is evil, but intelligent.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
Alright, we'll have to take on Drac's robot. Ratchet and Clank, with the power that we've amassed so far. Buy ammunition for everything. I'm gonna have a small moment off screen to practice Drac's patterns. Thinking like Clank with logic and practice. I've studied Drac's patterns, the way he attacks, the way he moves, the way he behaves. It's time for the final encounter with Ultimate Supreme Executive Chairman Drac in Ratchet and Clank ASMR. Please enjoy, my friends, as we save the galaxy. Golden Blaster. Pool of damage. We can jump over it. Our shield drone's coming in handy here. Even the humble bomb glove showing its use here. The weapon we began with in this adventure is still showing how useful it can be. Solid weapon. I love it. Gonna need to use every weapon, every gadget we have in order to defeat Drek. It's a shame we couldn't use Giant Clank. We're doing so well with him so far. The best weapon to take on Drek in his current situation is the Devastator. We need to make sure as we're destroying these crates that we get ammunition, not only for attack, but defense, as we need the shield drones online to protect ourselves. We can only take so many hits before Ratchet and Clank fall. Using the Golden Blaster, we can attack Drek while on the move, avoiding these missiles. He's destroying the environment. Next, some very careful platforming. We need to use the swing shot at the end. See how effective the Devastator is. That's why the game's hesitating to give us ammunition for it. We could use the Gadgetron PDA given to us by our friend Steve McQuark. However, that's going to cost a lot of cash, and I think we can do it with the arsenal of weapons we have right now. Also, every now and then the game will spawn in crates to give us ammo for this boss fight, so we're not completely trapped here. Mines. Well, you're mine. Suck on this. But that blew him away. Uh-oh. Come on. Jump. We're using his own weapon to our advantage. We don't need to put ourselves at risk by breaking the crates. We can just let him do it for us. Good, because we need the shield drones up as much as we possibly can. Anytime they go down, we deploy them. It's going to destroy the background again. We're making steady progress. Chairman Drek has a ton of health. We need to stay consistent and avoid damage.
Come to this. Once I step on this ignition switch, a countdown will commence. The end of which signals the destruction of your pitiful world.
There must be another way to make a home for your people.
You think that's what this is about? Who do you think polluted our last world? I did. This is about one thing and one thing only. Cash. And lots of it. You see, I've been paid for every square inch of my new world. Once the inhabitants move in, I will begin polluting this world as well. Then the whole thing starts all over again. Ah, brilliant.
Why, you evil little...
Save it, Clank. We have to stop that timer.
Power slam that button to terminate the countdown. To power slam, jump and press the R1 button.
We need to use the thruster pack. Need to disable this countdown. mine boots coming in handy. Told you all of our gadgets would come in necessary. Take aim. Let's rock it. This is why it was worth getting the gold suck cannon. Free ammunition. We can also dispose of mines as well by using them as ammunition. Keep ourselves at a safe distance. Full salvo. Let him have it. Drax keen on throwing lots of small enemies and mines at us. Let's use that attack against him. Need to be careful here. We need to avoid enemies, but we also need to avoid these mines. And rockets. Keep the distance. Attack when the time is right. Any moment he could... Yep, he's about to. Don't worry, we got this. Little white line rooting his arm. Don't worry, got this. We'll take down Drac. Terminate the countdown. Get out of the way before he hits us with a melee attack. Slowly but surely his health is depleting. Uh-oh, that's not good. Dodge. Chase him down. Gun down the chairman. Careful application of all of our weapons and gadgets. Victory will soon come. I think it all stems from a weapon we got for free on Planet Eudora. We just had to pay money to upgrade it, that was all. Money and gold balls, which thanks to exploring the world of Ratchet & Clank we have been rewarded with. It's paying off big time. More ammunition spawned. Terminate the countdown. More explosives. Took damage. Not in this late stage of the fight. We could pull this off. Don't worry, my friends, I'll take it from here. blaster ammo, just what we needed. Devastator, even better. Get the drone device up. So much going on, the game's lagging up a little bit. Let's not let that distract us. Even if the game slows down, I've trained in lag fu before. This is getting dire. There's no nanotech anywhere. So much going on. The game will speed up now the enemies are out of the way. Just proof that the game's throwing everything it can at you. So much that it can't even keep up itself. Come on. Be careful, any one of these gadget bots. They could unleash the killing blow. We've almost got Drek defeated. Come on, let's be a crisis ace. Don't forgo our defense. Almost there. Got him.
Ratchet?
What's up? You know, this time I am thinking what you're thinking.
Yeah, let's use the Eclipse Cannon. Oh wait, wrong game. It's time to finish this adventure. In Ratchet & Clank ASMR, let's finish Ultimate Supreme Executive Chairman Drek with his own weapon. Go!
This can't be good. Phew, that was close. Clank, you can pull us up now.
The servos in my arm appear to be broken.
Broken? As in, fall to our deaths broken?
Yes.
That was close. Thanks.
My arm appears to be badly damaged.
Ah, you'll be all right. Hey, tin can! Where do you think you're going? We, still need to fix that arm.
And so, the main story of Ratchet & Clank ASMR is now completed. Ratchet & Clank, throughout their adventure, faced hardship, even fought with each other at times. But by the end, they become close friends. We met a cast of colorful, quirky characters, Quarktastic characters, if you will. Use many fun gadgets and items and explore the world to take down Supreme Executive Chairman Drek, who has now been defeated. Thank you so much for joining me in this adventure in Ratchet & Clank ASMR. It's been a pleasure to play this PlayStation 2 classic platforming game. However, this is not the end of the journey, just the main story. Ratchet & Clank, and its brilliant game design, still has plenty to offer even after completing the main story. We still have to obtain every gold bolt in the game, and I can finally explain what skill points are and how to obtain them. I hope you will join me for the next episode of Ratchet & Clank ASMR. Will be the Rhino Run, if you will. I'm going to obtain every weapon, every variant, every item, and conclude this fun ASMR series. And also, by the time this series truly concludes in the next episode, tell me, what do you want to see from me in the future? Do you want me to conquer the sequel to this game, Ratchet & Clank 2? Or something else? Let me know what you thought as well about this adventure. I've deeply enjoyed it, and I'm glad I could see it to its completion, even if we're not quite there yet. One more video and we're done. We'll go through the entire game one more time, gradually obtaining more and more weapons. We will obtain every single gold weapon, and the weapon to surpass all others in this game, the Rhino. I hope you'll enjoy when that weapon finally arrives, and we rip him a new one. Thank you for your time, my friends, and for watching this video and this series. You can even see the variety of the worlds. A lot of love and care was put into this. All the planets, different environments, different characters. All these have contributed to fuse together and make a wonderful gaming experience. Now we can see. Throughout our main playthrough, we obtained 32 out of 40 gold bolts, and only 2 of the 10 gold weapons. That leaves us with 8 gold bolts to obtain, 8 gold weapons, 16 skill points, and of course, 1 weapon we missed out, the coveted and infamous Rhino. Rip ya a new one. That will be the conclusion to this video, and I hope you enjoy when it arrives. Until then, as always, this is your friend, Alakazam ASMR, and the lovely Gadgetron Help Desk Girl, who will be with us too, in not only an interesting future video, but helping us go on the run for the Rhino. Take care of yourself, my friends, no matter who you are or where you are. You got this. Thank you. And adios, my friends.
Do you have a problem with unwanted hair? Is painful itching in your nether regions causing you undue embarrassment? Do you just plain stink? Then you need this, the Gadgetron Personal Hygienator. Hi, I'm Steve McQuark, and this little baby can take care of any grooming needs that are just too much trouble for you to handle yourself. Allow me to demonstrate. Yeah. Oh, mommy.
Turn it off! Turn it off!